So I've officially hit maximum stress levels when it comes to this build. Why, you ask? Well, we've officially locked in our first event where we'll be debuting our fake Lamborghini drift build, and that event is in 59 days from now. Now, while that may seem like a lot of days, we have a huge amount left to do on this build. We've also got Christmas, New Year's, and everything in between, so we lose some of those 59 days. And the event we are debuting this car at is a massive event that we could not say no to. Now, while the car is looking absolutely awesome and it's really coming together, the list of things to do is about as long as my arm. Luckily, we have a bunch of amazing sponsors on board to help with this build, and we have a huge amount of parts sitting upstairs on the mezzanine floor, which means there are a bunch of things we can get cracking into right away. The one big thing that's going to hold this build back is paint. This thing definitely needs a lot of body work to make it look as good as I want it to look, so I am really nervous about meeting this deadline. Of course, I didn't mention I have to edit all these videos as well, and that itself takes time, but there isn't much point in stressing about it. We just need to go ahead and start cracking into the jobs. And the first thing we're going to do is crack into the rear of the car. More specifically, the rear fitment and the rear subframe. To explain better exactly what I mean, we need to get this thing up on the hoist. So although the car is looking pretty awesome up top, it's looking pretty trash underneath. Look at this. It's so dirty and manky under here, but that is what we're gonna change. So we've got a whole bunch of brand new parts to go in the rear end here, and we've also got some reinforcing to do here, because BMW had a fundamental flaw in their E36 and E46 chassis where they would rip the subframe out of the body quite literally. So first things first, we're gonna rip this subframe out of the car. So I definitely forgot how dirty this car is. Look how disgusting it is under here. Man, we've got to get rid of all of this before we paint it, because that is gross. But the good news is the subframe is out, and that means the fake Lamborghini rear end is about to get a huge makeover. We have all of these gorgeous parts sitting here on the table that need to go into our rear end. So we've got solid subframe bushes, we've got solid trailing arm bushes, we've got adjustable trailing arm bushes that we sell here at twostepgarage.com. These give you way more adjustment in your rear trailing arms. We have 2 sets of these rear camber arms from Max beading rods. We need 2 sets of them because we're running true coilover in this car, so we get rid of the top spring perch, and we have 2 adjustable arms on each side, which gives us way more adjustment. The link is in the description for these camber arms, and you can use my discount code Mike Lake. I believe it does give you 10% off store-wide on Max Beading Rod's website, which is mad. We're actually going to have to modify these trailing arms though, because of how wide the rear end is on the Lamborghini. We've got our subframe reinforcement plates. Again, we sell these on Two Step Garage, and these are going to weld into the back of our car. Then we have the undercoat we're going to use on the car. And the first thing we're going to do is remove the old bushes from our subframe, and that means we get to play with fire. So this subframe does not fit in our small press here at our shop, so I'm going to burn these rubber subframe bushes out of our subframe using butane. That is super satisfying to me because I'm low-key a pyromaniac. Not like one that wants to burn down buildings or anything, but I do enjoy the odd campfire here and there. So let's go ahead and set these bushes on fire. Fire! You can't even see it on the camera, I don't think. To remove the bushes, I simply set them on fire and let them burn until the center piece of metal falls out. Then I cut all the way to the outside with a saber saw, then tap them out with a hammer and chisel. This is just a quick interruption in the video to remind you guys you can grab your fake Lamborghini t-shirts or hoodies on twostepgarage.com. Everyone that buys a t-shirt or a hoodie goes straight in the draw to win this Camus racing simulator. It's worth like 700 Australian dollars, which is pretty crazy, and it's an awesome direct drive simulator. The winner will be drawn on the 20th of December, so go ahead, grab your merchandise. Of course, we will have new merchandise when this thing's finished of the finished product as well. Support the channel, support the build, grab yourself some merchandise. Cheers. So we're about ready to throw some fresh paint and some brand new bushes into our rear subframe. But before we do that, there is a hack that I like to do with these E36 BMW subframes. So these bolts here bolt the arms into the subframe. The nut on the back is not captive, so when you're trying to remove these, it's really difficult because you put the bolt through, the nut kind of falls down, you can't get the nut in. Like, it's literally impossible, it's so annoying. So what I like to do is weld the bolt onto the back here. Underneath here, they have these like semi-captive nuts, which is super weird. So they did it on the bottom, but not on the top. So I weld those in as well. That way you can simply undo the bolts from the front without having the dramas of the nuts on the rear. So let's weld up some nuts.
time to have a crack at cleaning this rear end, which I've been procrastinating all day. I started off with a wire brush and a vacuum, but that was not effective at all. Then I remembered I had this wee brush with plastic bristles, so I threw that in the drill and that worked really, really well.
That was the absolute worst job, and there is now dirt all over my shop because of that. But that's what you get when you buy an E36 that sat on a freaking farm for so long. So finally, we're all clean underneath and ready to weld in our subframe reinforcement. So our reinforcement plates are literally just laser cut pieces of steel, and you simply weld them to your chassis. The first thing we want to do is get the chassis back to bare metal where we're going to weld it. Then we just go ahead and weld these guys on. Look at that. So good. Perfectly shaped.
It's really important to remove all the sound deadener and get it back to bare metal on these BMWs because the sound deadener is an absolute killer for welding. I use these stock bolts to hold the plates in place. Then I absolutely went to town on the welding, and I'm actually really happy with the end result considering I'm not a welder.
Alright, so our subframe reinforcements are now welded into the chassis. I threw some etch primer on them, and now I'm going to undercoat where the subframe is going to sit. We're obviously going to undercoat the whole underside of the car, but we have a lot of work to do before we can lay all of it down. So what we're going to do here is undercoat the part that's going to be underneath the subframe, because obviously once we put the subframe in, we won't be able to reach that. So yeah, I am kind of smart, you know? So good. Alright, so now we have the underside of the body all sorted and ready. It's time to put some brand new bushes in our freshly painted subframe. This part is always super satisfying because the nice new bushes going into the nice new painted subframe always looks so good compared to the manky, dirty subframe that we had before. But here we have our brand new bushes for the subframe, and we also have a front diff bush that's going in as well. Some bushes are much harder to fit than others. These, I've already kind of half pushed this one in, seem like they're going to go in pretty easily, although that's usually famous last words. Rubber mallet. That's going in really easily. Like usually I'd use a G-clamp as well, and basically you press it in with the G-clamp, but I don't think we're even going to need that at this stage because that bush is basically all the way in where it needs to be. Boom! How good's that? Alright, that's the front bushes already done. So happy with that. Of course, it's always good to use the rubber mallet and not an actual hammer because there's a chance that you could crack and break the bushes. Ask me how I know that. Alright, now I'm going to throw the fronts in, but there's no point in showing you guys that all over again because we've already done that for the rears. So here we go with the YouTube magic. Boom! Look at that. Fresh subframe, brand new bushes ready to go in the car. So it's raining pretty hard outside right now, so I apologize if you can hear the rain noise in the microphone, but this looks so damn fresh. I'm really happy with it. As you can see, I've got a camber arm sitting in here at the moment, and what we need to do now is extend this by 80 millimeters. Luckily, I have another set of the exact same camber arms. These are old ones that I had. They're still going strong, and we're going to cut these up and weld 80 millimeters from this one onto our new camber arms. That way we're going to get all the adjustment we need in our rear trailing arms to push the wheels out nice and wide and get that perfect fitment on the rear end of our fake Lamborghini. Arm number 2, going in. Boom, look at that, extended arms, fully custom rear end. That's sick. Of course, we'll smooth these out and paint them, make them look all pretty. And now the final piece of the puzzle for our rear end is, of course, our custom trailing arm. And that is this bad boy right here. So last time you guys saw these trailing arms, we'd cut them, adjusted them, shortened them, and then we welded in some reinforcement. But now I've added even more reinforcement in. So now I've put angled square tube in on either side, fully welded everything up and painted it, and look at that. Of course, it doesn't look super pretty because I did the work, but it's definitely super strong, and I have no doubts that's going to hold up nicely. But we need to put our new trailing arm bushes into the trailing arm, then put our beautiful adjustable bracket onto the trailing arm, then we can put it into the car. And And there is our custom rear trailing arm set up with brand new bushes ready to go in the car. That is sick. So happy with that. All right, time for a test bit to see if this whole plan and all my measurements actually worked, which is kind of the nerve-wracking part really, but. All right, now is the hard part. Trailing arm by yourself. Okay, I am super happy right now because this rear end is actually going to work. I probably shouldn't sound surprised. I did a lot of planning before this, but this is quite a complex setup and suspension geometry isn't exactly my forte, but this is how the rear end looks all together now. So our nice extended arms are in here. I've also realized we can get more adjustment out of these toe brackets. If I just shave a little more off on this inside corner here, we'll be able to get quite a bit more adjustment, which is really cool. But look at that, that is so sick. Remember, we won't be using these coilovers. We're going to be using Shockworks, which I'm really excited about. But as you can see, I've fitted a wheel. And the most exciting part about this whole setup is the fact that we can now dial in our wheel fitment. Look at this, wheel on the guard. We're going to be able to dial it in absolutely perfectly. And as you can see here, we're less than halfway through on our adjustment on our camber arms, which is awesome. So basically, to dial in the wheel fitment, we just twist these in and out to get it perfect, and then we readjust the toe on the front bracket, because obviously if you push this hub out, it causes the wheel to toe in, and then you adjust this bracket out and it'll have the whole wheel pushed out whilst also still towing in the right direction. That probably sounds a little bit confusing to you guys, but essentially it just gets the hub exactly where we want it. Obviously we're running an 80mm spacer. I didn't want to go any bigger than that on this car, but I'm so excited to see this thing on the ground with the proper wheel fitment. We will, of course, chop this lip off the guard because we want to be tuck and tie with this thing. This part here is actually sitting a little far out, so we're going to make brackets and we'll use a bit of heat, just because over time when the shell's been sitting, because it's been sitting literally on this part, it's pumped like it out, and obviously hot days and stuff, the fiberglass is kind of been manipulated to where this part sits out. So pushing this in kind of gets our guard back in position, because at the moment the front of the guard sits out way further than the back of the guard, and it makes it really hard to dial in wheel fitment. It actually looks so good being able to see the rear wheel not tucked in that guard. Unfortunately, that's all I have time for on the car in this episode, but don't leave just yet because I actually want to show you guys a little something. So I have two awesome things right here for the car. First up is the seats that showed up, and I absolutely love these so much. There's nothing quite like brand new bucket seats, and these are what Raceworks sent us out for the car, and I think they suit it absolutely perfectly. They're very subtle, which is exactly what I was hoping for. But the best thing about these seats is they're FIA approved as well, so they're super safe, which is awesome, especially since we're going to be doing so many passenger rides in this thing. I always want my passengers to be safe, and of course myself. But these seats are freaking so cool, and I cannot wait to install them. We're going to be painting the interior white, just like the cage, and then all of the stuff like this, the hydraulic handbrake, the foot plates that we're going to have in the car, they'll offset the white, which is really nice. And then these are our windows for the car. So I went and picked these up the other day, and oh my God, I'm so stoked with them. They completely change the look of the car. I've test fitted them a little bit on the car already just to make sure that they actually fit. The crazy thing about these windows is we 3D scanned the car when we did the cage, and Toby from Chimera Development drew the windows up on his computer. Then I sent them to my friend Ryan, who owns a plastic company, and he laser cut these out of 6mm thick polycarbonate. This stuff is specifically made for motorsports, and they fit absolutely perfectly, which is crazy. The side windows fit absolutely perfect as well, and then this piece of plastic behind here, we're gonna make our own shaped for the rear window because I forgot to scan that. But trust me when I say, when the windows are in this thing, it just makes it look like a proper car. All the parts are starting to roll in now for this car, and we are full steam ahead getting this thing finished. I'm headed away camping tomorrow for a couple of days with Tara. I really need to spend some time with her because I've been traveling and making videos so much that we haven't actually got to spend a lot of time together. Then I'm straight back into the car. So next week, you guys will get a bunch, I think at least 2 videos on the Lambo, which is cool. But thank you guys as always for supporting. Make sure you grab some Lambo merch and go on the draw to win that Camus Sim setup. It's pretty awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. Hit that like button if you feel like it. Tell your friends about this build. Let's push it out. Let's make it as viral as possible. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Bye. Oh, I'm just so hyped on this thing. So good. You're not ready for the end result. Bye.